What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we have a brand new video, and as you can see, Sugofest exclusive Smoker comes to say hello. Now, you guys who are watching the video who are not following me on Twitter, make sure you go ahead and do that. But yesterday, I was out with some friends, and was lucky enough to pull Smoker from my 30 gem multi on part 1 of the Sugofest. So I was super ecstatic about it. Unfortunately, I pulled him in his 6-star form, so I don't have the 5-star character in my character log. So that is a little bit of a downside, but look, you can't complain when you pull a brand new Sugofest exclusive, right? So in this video today, we are going to be going ahead and bringing you guys along with the 10-star difficulty Garp challenges with, versus Doflamingo, the Revolutionary Army, and against Whitebeard, all with the same team, with no changes whatsoever. So this team will complete all of them that you guys are going to be seeing in this video today. Now, this is the team you guys are seeing. The key support units, I think having Ace attached to one of the characters on this team, it definitely helps a lot, especially against the Revolutionary Army one. The Revolutionary Army one is actually the most difficult for this team to clear. It is just so annoying, and I'll talk about certain things about why it is annoying for this team to clear. And then also, we also have Cavendish attached to Pudding. You could definitely not have that. That is totally not required. We also have version 1 Doflamingo attached to Diamante. That's probably not required either, but it is nice to have because whenever you launch his special, your driven characters get an orb boost. So Smoker will get the orb boost. Diamante himself will also get the orb boost. Shanks' crew is such a phenomenal unit. You probably don't need the Markino support, but it definitely adds a bit more damage output on one of the stages on the Whitebeard fight. And then we've also got the limited rare recruit Bonsai Akainu with the support of Komurasaki for huge stat boosts. This Akainu is one of the best limited rare recruits in the game, I would argue. I think he's probably my favorite limited rare recruit in the game. He is phenomenal in what he's able to do. So that's the team showcase. Let's go ahead now and get into the actual clips versus the 10-star difficulty Garp challenges. So the first clip, of course, is going to be starting off with the Doflamingo challenge. Now, honestly, the most annoying thing in trying to build a team for these challenges, well, for specifically Smoker that we're talking about here, is the fact that all of the bosses on the final boss stage all will go ahead and remove beneficial effects. Now, if you guys have seen my video where I actually talk about this brand new Sugofest batch with Sugar, Smoker, and the Rare Recruits, I do mention in that video that one of the big drawbacks of Smoker is the fact that if the enemy has removed beneficial effects, it really hinders what Smoker tries to do because you can't carry all of those huge boosts into the final stage. So it does mean that you have to rely on utilizing boosts on earlier on in the stage and then just, spamming other specials on the final boss stage. Now, one of the really cool things here is we've got Shanks' crew on the team. Now, of course, Shanks' crew are one of the best legends in the game. A lot of people would say are the best legend in the game, and they probably are, honestly. Shanks' crew is really, really good, right? Because Shanks' crew have that amazing switch effect that can give your crew a 1.5 times attack boost every single turn, as well as giving you adjacent orbs matching, so you can literally have half of your team get matching orbs and a 1.5 attack boost every single turn. It's very powerful, and then when you launch this special, you get that 3.5 chain lock. Then, the really cool thing about Smoker is when you launch his special, you will go ahead and give an attack boost. There's a 2.5 attack boost, but if you've already got an attack boost on your team, he gives you a 2.5 times orb boost instead. So the really cool thing is you can have the switch effect of Shanks' crew giving you the attack boost, then you can launch the Smoker special giving you an orb boost instead, and then you can go ahead and use both of the super type specials to carry a 1.5 attack boost and a 2.5 orb boost over multiple different stages. It's really, really nice to have, and of course, as I mentioned, you can't carry into the boss stage of the Garp challenges because they have removed beneficial effects. So that's obviously a big problem. But you can use it on like stage 5 and carry it into stage 6 because like they're the second last or the third last stages of the fight. You can do that and carry huge boosts into the last couple of stages, and because you already have an attack boost from Shanks' crew that you've carried over multiple stages and you've used one Smoker for an orb boost, on the final stage you can use their switch effect of Shanks' crew once again, and you can use the special of Smoker once again. So you can literally get, a 1.5 attack boost and a 2.5 orb boost on like 3 separate stages back to back to back. It's so nice to have. So that combination of Smoker and Shanks' crew is pretty good. So that is like one of the main core damage dealers on our team with that core of units right there. Another unit that I showcase a lot on all of these quick Garp challenges is this Bonsai Akainu. This Bonsai Akainu is ridiculously good, dude. He is way too good. And I did mention at the start of the video, I do think he's one of the best limited rare recruits in the game. The fact that he removes paralysis, attack down, all of them by 5 turns. He reduces enemies' defense by 100% for 2 turns, and he's a 1.75 conditional against defense down for 2 turns. But there is a caveat to that where you have to have 4 quick or psi characters on your team. So obviously, him being quick, you can run him on a mono quick team, it does work quite good. And then one of my other favorite legends in the game, V3 Law, he works really well under V3 Law because this Akainu is a fighter character. So you can have, I know he's Free Spirit. I think is he Fighter Free Spirit? He might be Fighter Free Spirit. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he's Free Spirit though, so he does work under Law, which is one of the main reasons why he's like one of the best units for Law, because with double Law, you got 2 Psi units, and then Akainu is your quick unit, so you just need one other quick or Psi unit and you're good to go, right? So yeah, Akainu is pretty goated right there. And you can see we are using the NL ship. I don't know if I talked about that at the start of the video, but that NL ship is so good, and the main reason why I wanted to run it was literally just for that treble stage on the Doflamingo challenge, because those enemies are so annoying in the back. So by just having a special ability that you can launch to just immediately take them down is very valuable, rather than having to run a certain special on your team that is dedicated to doing AoE damage. So instead of doing that, you just bring the ship instead, and that can be your best way around the enemies. So it's probably the best way to do it. There are a couple ways you could do it as well, like you bring a fixed damage dealer like the free-to-play Moria that came out recently. You could use him instead of the Akainu. That's actually a really good replacement because he does do fixed damage, removes paralysis, removes attack down. The only difference is that this Akainu gives you a 1.75 conditional boost on top of it. But remember, we have the attack and all boost carried from the Barto stage onto the treble stage, so take that as you will. So there's a couple of different ways you could go about it, but this team in particular does get through the Doflamingo challenge very, very easily. So we'll go ahead and end this here, and we'll pick things up at the next challenge. So now moving on to the next challenge, which is the Revolutionary Army. Now, this is kind of crazy, but this was actually the most difficult 10-star difficulty challenge for this team to clear. The main reason for it is, well, actually, there are a couple of reasons, right? Number one, it's something that we talked about earlier. The fact that when you reach the final boss stage, the enemy has the remove beneficial effects. So the thing about it is when Smoker has the effect of, you know, having a huge attack boost, huge orb boost, and that's all well and good, but you can't even carry it into the final boss stage, which is a bit of a problem. But it's the other component of Smoker's special that I was really hoping to utilize here, and that is the fact that when you launch his special, he gives you 5 turns of immunity to burn and attack down. Now, if you guys remember this challenge with the Revolutionary Army, when you reach the final stage, you get inflicted with 3 turns of burn. They cut your health in half. So basically means that if you try and hit your perfects, you're going to get burned for a lot. And because they cut your health, it's going to basically try and make you die. Now, the problem there is if you use the special ability of Smoker, even if you already have, you know, burn or attack down inflicted to your team, it doesn't like ignore it, or it doesn't resist it, it doesn't remove it, it still stays there. The only way that his special works is if you have the immunity buff active and then the enemy inflicts you with the burn or attack down. That's the only way that you can block it. But if you use the special ability of Smoker, then you move into the final stage, and then the enemy removes your beneficial effects and then applies the burn or attack down, you just get kind of screwed over. So that's one of the main drawbacks of this character altogether, is the fact that Smoker just does not like to see the enemy inflict you with remove beneficial effects, and it's the worst component of this character in my opinion. If his special ability like outright removed burn and attack down, as well as applied the immunity buff on top of it, that would be so much better. But unfortunately, there are obviously a little bit of problems with that. And then the other reason why this challenge is very difficult for Smoker to clear is because I was really hoping that Rev Recruit Pudding on our team had Limit Break expansion, because we need to use Pudding twice in this fight to remove Bind. And the problem there is, you know, we have to use Pudding on stage 3, and by the time we reach stage 6, which is where we have to use the special again, there's not a lot of time between, you know, stage 3 and stage 6 to get, you know, 12 turns of special ready to go. So it is very hit or miss, but just saying that once the Rare Recruit Pudding gets a Limit Break expansion, and then you expand her Limit Break, this challenge is so much easier because she gets -2 cooldown, and that -2 cooldown is so valuable, and it makes clearing this fight so much easier. So that's the only thing I really have to say, is that you know, once we get access to the limit break expansion of that pudding, then this fight is just a complete cinch. But up until then, yeah, this team is going to struggle a little bit with this challenge, and you guys will see once we reach the final boss stage. Like, we only just, like, barely clear it, in terms of, like, you know, because we basically have no real powerful specials active here. Massive shout out to that quick rare recruit ace support attached to our team, because that additional 1.3 color affinity was pretty clutch, I'm not gonna lie. And the switch effect of Shanks crew again, just showcasing how good that is, of course. But not really much else to say about the Revolutionary Army GARP challenge. I've pretty much said all I really wanted to say. Just, this was the most difficult team to, this was the most difficult challenge for this team to clear, comparing all three of them with this team. I actually had a different variation of this team that I was building, but I beat the Doflamingo challenge very easily, I beat the Whitebeard challenge very easy, but I just could not get the other team that I had built to clear the Revolutionary Army challenge, and I had to just bring a character that had a lowered cooldown that removed Bind and Despair, that also did something for my team, and there weren't really too many quick units that kind of fit that build. The other character I was trying to use was the new rare recruit Bonnie, because she's an attack booster, she removes Bind and Despair, but completely maxed out. That Bonnie's got a 13 turn cooldown, and you know, it would be nice to use her. If she was on like an 11 turn cooldown, that'd be amazing, but you know, 13 is just that little bit too high for this team to basically utilize. So yeah, I had to go ahead and switch that out for Pudding instead, and it actually worked out pretty well, because Pudding was a very valuable asset in a couple of other fights that you're going to be seeing in this video, so definitely look forward to it. So anyways, I'm going to leave you guys with the rest of this clip, and I'll see you guys at the final GARP challenge. So now we're at the final GARP challenge, which is the Whitebeard challenge. Now, this team beat the Whitebeard challenge pretty comfortably, I will say. The Doflamingo and the Whitebeard challenge were very, very comfortable clears. Nothing really came up that was too surprising. One thing I will say, though, is, you know, that typical stage where a lot of people will struggle is obviously the Ezo stage with Fossa, because every character on that stage hits ridiculously hard. But one of the great benefits of that stage is that if you do have a delayer, you can actually use a delay on that stage, which does make it a bit easier. But of course, when you're trying to build a team that clears every single one of these GARP challenges at once, you know, you kind of don't have a lot of freedom to bring, you know, those types of characters, of course. But with this team, the really good thing about it is that when you reach that stage with Fossa, Ezo, and Speed Jiro, is that typically when you reach that stage, if Fossa is on a 2-turn cooldown, in most cases that's going to be like almost a reset, or it's going to make your life a whole lot more difficult. But in this case, with this team, it's actually better if Fossa is on a 2-turn cooldown, because what you can do is if you're on that turn where Fossa is about to attack you, it means that Fossa and Ezo are both attacking in that same turn, which means that putting special to give us 5,000 healing and also the huge damage reduction, it works for blocking both of those characters' attacks. Whereas, you know, if Fossa was on a 3-turn cooldown, it means that if you don't kill Ezo in that turn, you're like just straight up going to die, because there's just not enough damage reduction, or you won't be able to use like a damage reduction on Ezo and also on Fossa, unless if your HP is at a reasonable point. So that's one of the main drawbacks, I would say. But even if, you know, Ezo is on a, you know, 2-turn cooldown and Fossa's on a 3-turn cooldown, and you do have to take a hit from Ezo, so long as your HP is at a reasonable point. I think your HP has to be about like 26, 27-ish thousand, so you can take a hit from both. But, you know, that's one of the great things of Pudding, is because not only do you get the damage reduction from her, but she also gives you the 5,000 healing, and that 5,000 healing is actually kind of clutch if you're at those really low HP thresholds. So you can see right here, I'm at that point where I'm just doing my attacks. Hopefully I can take down Ezo. I mean, it didn't matter at this point anyway, because Fossa was on a 2-turn cooldown. We blocked the damage from Fossa, and then we can stall to make sure that the Akanu special is ready by the time we reach the Marco and Vista stage. That's going to be the most important thing there. And then moving on to Jozu, this is why we have Diamante on the team in the first place, is because he actually has a really good special that can remove Rainbow Shield and Blue Shield by 3 turns. And then we also have the Shanks Crew switch effect. We have the Smoker special, so we get the 1.5 attack boost and the 2.5 orb boost. And then we can use both of the Smoker super types to carry the 1.5 attack and the 2.5 orb boost into the next stage against Marco and Vista, because of course we can't use the super type special on the Marco and Vista stage and carry it into the final stage versus Whitebeard and Ace, because they remove beneficial effects at the start of that fight. So yeah, that's obviously the big drawback there, but it does mean that we get huge boosts on all of those mini-boss stages prior to reaching the final boss stage. And, you know, even though we are inflicted with normal attacks only, on stage 6, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Like, it would be nice if we use the Shank Through special and we actually get a 20% health cut out of it, but at the end of the day, it actually didn't really matter, because just in terms of raw damage output with all of the multipliers included, it didn't really matter. So, anyways, that's going to end this video today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one of utilizing the brand new Sugofest exclusive Smoker against all of the 10-star difficulty Garp challenges, and I may be doing like a separate showcase for Smoker against some Colosseums, raids, etc. Later on down the line, so if there is content available for Smoker to take on, I will definitely look into that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
Still